Coming up on The Cut, Hurricane Fiona strikes Puerto Rico. The latest efforts to restore power in the area.
And the Phoenix Art Museum receives its largest donation ever. Who is behind this big donation? The Cut starts now. Welcome to the Cut Network. I'm Leslie Chapman.
And I'm Dedzin Cortez.
They say it reminds them of Hurricane Maria from 5 years ago. On Monday, Hurricane Fiona poured over Puerto Rico. Experts were expecting over 15 inches of rain. Take a look at the damage here. This is Ponce, Puerto Rico. Many residents are without power and without water. There have already been 2 deaths. General Jose Reyes says 900 people were rescued by the National Guard. Experts officially announced this storm to be a Category 3. The Phoenix Art Museum is set to receive one of their largest donations in history. With more on the story, here's Cut reporter Alex Sukaris-Woods.
Thank you, Denzin and Leslie. Last Friday, the Men's Art Council, or MAC, gifted the Phoenix Art Museum their single largest donation in the nonprofit's 55-plus year history. The president of MAC, Joe Cohen, said it is our honor to commit this substantial donation to continue our ongoing relationship with the museum and to support the arts in the Phoenix metro area as a whole. This $1 million donation will help empower the museum to not only rebuild its public program offerings impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic, but increase access to visual arts and arts education for the community. Sybil Harrington, the museum's director and CEO, stated that removing economic barriers at a time when it is most crucial for Arizona families is an important action for the museum to take. This donation will also fund the museum's Associate Curator of Education position, who will be in charge of making new arts education programs for the public. It will also support the return of the museum's popular weekend music festival, Phoenix Art Amplified. The MAC will continue to support the museum in the foreseeable future while also hosting the Southwest Double Gun Expo, the Copper State Overland Off-Road Rally, and the Copper State 1000 Vintage Car Road Rally. For The Cut, I'm Alex Sukaris-Woods.
Thank you, Alec. Last Friday, Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker announced the state's emergency agency are relocating immigrants from Venezuela to Joint Base Cape Cod. Baker also mentioned his plan to activate 125 members of the National Guard to assist. He says, quote, "Our administration has been working across state government to ensure these individuals will have access to the services they need, and Joint Base Cape Cod is well equipped." While Baker and Joint Base Cape Cod seemed prepared, the locals and immigrants were not. Cape Cod locals had no idea immigrants were going to be sheltered in their neighborhoods, and the immigrants thought they were being flown into Boston to look for more work opportunities.
This week, a new movie topped the box office charts. It's called The Woman King, and it is directed by Viola Davis. For more on this weekend's big hits, here's our Cut reporter, Riley Pittman.
The new Viola Davis-led action drama, The Woman King, effortlessly dominated the North American box office during its debut weekend in theaters, outranking a pool of competitive new releases. Directed by Gina Prince Bythewood, The Woman King exceeded expectations for its cultural representation of the all-female warrior unit known as the Agoji, who guarded the West African kingdom of the Dahomey Amazons from the 17th to 19th centuries. The Woman King brought in a whopping $19 million at the domestic box office during its first week, exceeding Sony's prediction of just $12 million. This number dramatically surpasses that of the second highest ranked movie, Barbarian, the recently released horror film, which brought in around $6.3 million. Other top ticket sales last week include Pearl and See How They Run, which both brought in $3.1 million, Bullet Train, which brought in $2.5 million, and Top Gun Maverick, which brought in $2.2 million. For The Cut, I'm Riley Pittman.
Thank you, Riley. This week, Kanye West pulled his Yeezys from all Gap stores. For more on the story, here is Cut reporter Charlie Vicario.
Kanye West and Gap are over. It's no surprise that Kanye West has been having some issues when it comes to his partnership with Gap, and the company is wasting no time after removing as many traces of the rapper as possible several hours before the announcement was made. West ended their partnership because Gap was not carrying out their end of the deal. He noted that he did not approve of the colors for his clothing and was not allowed to set pricing. Gap was selling $200 items for $19 without permission. Gap's flagship store in Times Square, New York, used to several ads for Yeezy's clothing covering its storefront and on massive video screens above the store's entrance. However, by last Wednesday at 1 p.m., all of that had been taken down. The attorney for the rapper said he will now work on opening his own retail stores. In the meantime, fans should know that whatever product is left will be sold at Gap, but once that runs out of new designs will be purchased somewhere else. For the Cut Network, I'm Charlie Viccaria.
Thanks, Charlie. A university in New York is banning all clubs because they do not want to officially recognize an LGBTQ group. For more on this, here's Cut reporter Larissa May.
Thank you, Denzin and Leslie. Yeshiva University, the oldest Jewish university in America, has paused meetings for all college-affiliated clubs. When a group of students from an on-campus group called the YU Pride Alliance sought official recognition from the university, their request was denied. Yeshiva argued that the values of the club were at odds with the values of the Torah and refused to grant approval to the organization. The students and several alumni of the university sued, claiming that this was a violation of their rights. A New York state court ordered that the college had to recognize the club. The case then went to the Supreme Court, and in the recent ruling from Yeshiva University versus YU Pride Alliance, the High Court agreed with the state ruling that the religious university could not deny the formation of an LGBTQ+ based club. In response, the school has paused all clubs in order to prevent the LGBTQ Pride Alliance from meeting. The ruling and subsequent actions have sparked debates from both involved parties. Some advocates for the club, such as the YU Pride Alliance's attorney, Kate Rosenfeld, have said that the college's actions are shameful. Meanwhile, those in favor of the university feel that the ruling is a strike against their religious freedom. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Larissa. On Sunday, the Las Vegas Aces won the WNBA championship. For more on this, here is Cut reporter Zach Bradshaw.
Thank you, Denton and Leslie. The Las Vegas Aces on Sunday defeated the Connecticut Sun to win the WNBA Finals 3-1. Leading the charge for the Aces was breakout star Chelsea Gray, who led all scorers with 20 points. Gray averaged 18 points and 6 assists in the series to take home Finals MVP honors. For the Sun, it was 3-time All-Star Alyssa Thomas who brought the fire on offense, notching 11 points, 11 assists, and 10 rebounds. She made history, as it was the second ever triple-double performance in a Finals game. The first, also Thomas, who triple-doubled in Game 3 of the same Finals. After the game, Aces head coach Becky Hammond congratulated the team and said, quote, "For me, it's not about proving other people wrong. It's about proving me right," end quote. Hammond is the first rookie head coach in the WNBA to win the title. This win marks the first title in franchise history, as well as the first ever professional league championship for the city of Las Vegas. Now, Sin City finally has the right to say, this trophy is the one thing that happened in Vegas and will be staying in Vegas. For The Cut, I'm Zach Bradshaw.
The Toy Hall of Fame is asking for your help. That's right, the Toy Hall of Fame. Every year, the Toy Hall of Fame selects childhood pastimes to enter their so-called Hall of Fame. It is run by the Museum of Toys, and this year's toys include bingo, tops, and a piñata. Those are among 12 nominees. The 3 toys that get the most votes will enter the Hall of Fame.
Thanks for joining us on The Cut this week. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at The Cut Network, and see you guys next week.